just when you thought that I couldn't get enough desk fans, here's another one. This one's slightly different in that it is a superior Sanyo fan, where most of the ones that I see are the Super brand. And, I mean, it's not perfect. Obviously, it's going to need a little bit of a cleaning. I thought I'd show it off before I did any of that work. One of the things in it working in its favor was certainly the price tag. You know, normally when fans like this show up, they want $20, $30, $40 for them, which I think is kind of a little ridiculous. It's just a desk fan, for crying out loud, at the heart of it all. I mean, yeah, sure, it's old, but what difference does that make, really? Other than the fact that it would actually work. But you see what I'm getting at, right? I hope. Anyway, it's not the cleanest. It's certainly going to need a little bit of cleaning, but that's not something I can't do. The thing about this, and the real reason why I allowed myself to buy it, is that the oscillator actually works on this unit. On a lot of them it doesn't, when I find fans, and I tend to just leave them there. You know, I used to buy those. I used to buy all kinds of fans with no oscillator because, hey, vintage fan's a vintage fan, but now that I've got so many of them, I gotta pick and choose a little bit. So, first things first, I'm gonna see if I can take this off. This should be relatively easy because these stickers actually come off quite nicely now. So, I gotta take the grill off. Fortunately, these are not bent, like a lot of these things that you find now are. Take that off. Set it down. Spins quite freely. This is another one that I'm not actually going to oil because I don't think I need to. But I'm probably going to need 2 hands to get that off. Right. So something interesting about this that I just noticed, apparently, now it is, I pulled that off and it flung itself backwards. Because it's got quite a bit of spring tension on it. But I am going to go ahead and I will get a screwdriver and undo all of these things and just get them off. So pull the back off, pull everything off, because I do want to do a thorough cleaning on this. I'm going to take all these pieces out there and brush them off. Hopefully get most of the dirt off of them. Okay, here's a look at the base unit. It's been cleaned up. There is a little bit of surface dust still on the coils there, but even a can of compressed air wasn't able to get those out, so that's probably not something I'm going to be able to deal with. Because I don't think... Well, you might be able to pull this motor apart, but I really don't want to, because that seems like just a risk of disaster. But now what I have to do is I got to clean the base. So I'm going to have to get the cleaner out and do it that way. Okay, I've got the motor shell back in place, and you can see that, yeah, this has a lot of spring tension on it. There are a little bit of problem area. I think I just managed to get it off. So I'm not going for like showroom grade or anything like that, because that's just not realistic. This isn't like some 1960s super fan or anything like that. It's just a random blue bladed fan from like the 70s or the 80s or something. I wonder if it says on the back here. At least it's made in this country. Deluxe oscillating fan. It says EF6-RL, which I would take to mean a 6-inch, but that's not 6-inch, that's 12. There's no way that's 6, because, I mean, let's take this and put it up next to this fan, and you can see it's about the same size. So, yeah, it's a 12-inch. Doesn't really say anything about manufacturing. I mean, there's that right there, the 50306432, but I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Really. Doesn't have a whole lot of meaning. But now I ought to do the grills and the blade set, and that ought to be entertaining. Okay, first grill done. It's now, I mean, it's not, again, it's got some dirt on it, but I don't really care enough to get this thing completely polished or anything like that. Next up is these blades, and that's where most of the dirt is on this. Now, there's what it looks like after I brush it. It's not very good. There's a lot of crap on there. So I'm going to try the sink method. And hopefully I can get all this crap to come off without royally scratching the hell out of these blades. Here they are after the sink method of cleaning. Are they great? Are they perfect? No. But they're still a billion times better than they were. So I'm willing to call that a win, and I'll put this back on the fan. And there it is, looking spiffy as ever. There's a couple of pegs on the side. There's one there and there's one on the opposite side that have to go into these grills in order to clamp them shut. So if you're wondering why yours won't clamp, that's why. You gotta make sure that they line up. So if your grill is bent, then that might pose a little bit of a problem, but it should be relatively fine. So I just gotta clean out this inner medallion here, and then put the oscillator peg back in place. Another piece of advice with the oscillator screw is that it turns backwards in order to get it off and get it on. But now, we are all clean, and we are ready for a grand run-up. Now, I'm probably also going to do the same thing to the cord. I'm going to just run it. I'll go ahead and I'll respray this, and I'll just run it on the cord just to clean up the cord a little bit, because the cord's a little dirty, but, I mean, again, it's not going to be museum grade or anything like that. It's designed to be functional. So, okay, like I said, we're ready for a run-up. Got it plugged in. Let's go ahead and start it on low. It's a little off balance. But it's running on low. Switch it to medium. Yeah, I know you're not going to be able to hear it through all the other noise in here, but oh well. A little bit of an issue with the high button there. Maybe you can hear it just a little bit. Of course, you can feel it. Here's the oscillator working. Again, I have done no mechanical work to this, it's just cosmetic. Switch it down to low. A little bit of dirt there that I'll probably have to clean off. In fact, I'm not really sure why it didn't come off to start with. medium with the oscillator. You can definitely tell that it's, so to say, clutch driven, because the speed of the oscillator changes with the speed of the fan. So I'll turn that off, and we'll turn the fan off and watch it spin down. Again, I have done no work to this. Mechanically, no oil, no disassembly of the motor, no greasing, no anything. So we're going to go ahead and look at the back, see if maybe you can hear the fan starting up. I'm going to guess no, because normally you can't with these desk fans, but sometimes they make some cool noises. And off. And just like that, that's pretty much it for this superior Sanyo blue-bladed 12-inch desk fan. Yet another fan to add to my blue-bladed fan collection. So maybe just a little bit more dirt on the base that we can clean off. A little bit of scrubbing. Which I wasn't showing. That's alright. That's not what the video is. Okay. All it needed was a cleaning. So for less than $7, I think I did pretty well. Thank you for watching, and if you have any comments, feel free to leave them below.